bring this up real quick. So, can I get my chair, please? I need my chair. Can I get my chair, please? Thank you. Got a ton of other places that you chill over here with. Mr. Derrick, we got your full name. We got your address. We know exactly where you live at. I told you before, it wasn't hard to track down your building. It really wasn't. Because in your YouTube channels, even the police and even the FBI is able to find your whereabouts. So we know where you live at already. We know exactly where you live at. I know your building management, all of that. We know already from the door. But there's another problem you have. You're claiming to be a minister. Are you a minister or not? I don't think you are. So we got somebody doing a background check on you right now as we speak. He's going through your stuff. He's going to find out whether or not you're claiming to be somebody that you're not. This can get you in a lot of trouble. So you've been using the word minister throughout all the messages that have been coming to our company's account. And the investigator that's searching and tracking, getting information on you ready for court has noticed that there's some things that are popping up on you that are not good. You've been doing some shady stuff. So you contacted our company over, I say, about 1,000 times. We have you in this account. We have you in multiple other accounts. And these accounts, you still go by this name called Minister. Your real name, which we have here, remember, you wrote it on a letter, is actually Derrick Williams. That's your real name. This is the information that was scanned into the Allentown Police Department. So this is the letter that you sent over to a neighbor. Mind you, we've already filed the post office fraud charges, all your information, and we also contacted your building management. You're going to keep in mind, buddy, if the eviction don't hit you first, then the basically either lawsuit or basically criminal charges, one of them are going to hit sooner or later. But anyway, you've been in our account quite a bit. So you call yourself a minister. How are you a minister when you're cursing as you're contacting us? That's what my buddy was looking at. He was going through the accounts real quick, and he was like, wait a minute, who the freak is this minister guy? I said, oh, he's this guy's been trying to send out messages. He's been doing some work for Jamie. So he says, he's supposed to be a minister? What church is he from? What congregation or what church are you from? So you start asking all these questions. You know what? We got to start digging into his stuff. We got to figure out if he's posing to be a priest. This can get you in a lot of trouble. Can't do that. Can't claim something that you're not. And we can show it multiple times that you have claimed to be a minister, which you are not. So what kind of minister you are that you come in and you curse people out? That doesn't look like a Christian to me. Look at these messages. So if you are part of a church, if you are a minister of a church, we'll be sending them these documents, including the criminal charges that were filed against you. I don't think you're going to be around much longer in there. Because I have never seen a preacher, well, I've seen preachers curse probably off camera, but from your activity, this doesn't sound like a minister at all, period. But your name isn't Brethren. See right here where you messed up? See on the message where you sent to the address you put down, the same thing that we got there. So you have over 1,000 emails between this account and the other account. Keep in mind, one of those emails can get you up to 10 years, sorry, 1 year in jail. We have 10 of these from you. Actually, more than 10. But anyway, so you're already looking at maybe a good 20 years easily with no problem whatsoever. An additional 20 years. Actually, sorry, 2 accounts of post office mail fraud. Because you sent those Christmas letters out, but they never made it to destination because they already started an investigation on you a long time ago when you first sent this letter over right here. So any mail that comes from you, automatically from your state, gets stopped at United States Postal Service and gets transferred to the Allentown Police Department, which your fingerprints were all up in these letters. Man, you didn't think that one through, did you? Well, anyway, you're not a minister at all, period. You don't belong to any church. Nothing knows you at the end of the day. You've made this up. This is just a complete lie. So you're posing to be something that you're not. And this can get you in a lot of trouble. Have you been taking money from other people? Have you been using this email or anything else basically to try to get money out of people? Because usually people who fake to be preachers at the end of the day are doing something that they should not be doing. I don't know what kind of preacher at the end of the day curses right from the door. Look at that. Look at the curse words we have in here. He calls himself a minister. You're not a preacher at all. These are all from him. These are literally all from him. So your email was traced. I told you I got some people that I know that basically are good with PCs. A nicer way of putting it. And they were able to find out where those emails came from without the FBI help. FBI's already locking you in already, but I wanted to know a little bit faster. So I put out some money. So we know a lot of stuff about you. Now, all this is going to be used against you in court, of course. And again, you're not what you say you are. You're not a minister in any way whatsoever. I don't know where you got the idea of calling yourself a minister. Most people I know who are not real ministers, they're doing other shady deals that are trying to make people convinced that they're a minister so they can rob and steal from them. So that's going to be looked into. Just any criminal charges that were filed against you for basically misleading and robbing people or running scams, all that's going to be dug up on you before we get to court. Like I said, I'm going to make sure that when I see you in that courtroom, because you will see me, Mr. Williams, you will see me. I'm going to let you know that. You will see my face. I will see yours. I will make sure that you won't get out. I guarantee you. So we started the process of actually, I got my own investigator I'm paying money out to start digging up and figuring out exactly what you're all about. And you call yourself a minister. It's funny how you didn't put minister here. How come you didn't put it here? But you put it over there multiple times. And you talk about God. In the first beginning of emails we had sent to us, you called us the devil. You said that we're not children of God, we're not this, we're not that, and the other. And then you proceed with these curse words and carrying on and slander. That does not sound like a person of the church. So you know you can get in trouble for impersonating a minister? You can get a lot of trouble for that. Do you have a certificate, certification, anything show that you went to any kind of Bible study, any school, and you graduated with some kind of certification which makes you a minister in order you to say that? That's like someone posing to be a police officer, someone who works at a fire department, something like that. You know what I mean? You have to have certification for that. And you sound like a grade A scammer. People who call themselves fake preachers at the end of the day and do this at the end of the day, we know what you do. You rip people off. And if you ever did have a church, we'll find that out too. I'll have all your information by today. Just want to send you out a little message. My investigator just left, and he's going to basically start digging up some stuff on you. Because what makes you very suspicious is because you use the word minister multiple times. And I notice that people who use those particular names are doing things that they should not be doing at all, period. So I'm going to find out if you have a certification, if you've graduated from any kind of Bible study, any school, whatever, in order to get your certification to become a minister. What church were you at? What congregation were you at? Stuff like that. That's the stuff we're hunting for. Nothing comes up, and I doubt anything's going to come up. Then we're going to find out if there is any other people, any instant reports, any charges, anything were brought against you for you basically of scamming and ripping people off and using that name. No one just calls himself a minister out of nowhere. They're just going to be using it for something they shouldn't be using it for. But your name is Derrick Williams. That's your name. No, I know exactly where you lay your head at. I know which your apartment complex, and I do know for a fact what apartment you're sitting in right now. But that's nobody's business. Like I said, at the end of the day, that would be between the attorneys, the police, and basically me. But we do know you wrote on your address, this is the building right here, the 1400 East Madison. We know about this building right here. And what I found interesting about this building is you did a YouTube video, and this building that came up on Google Maps was right across the street from these buildings. These we saw sitting out there. I was like, wait a minute, that apartment complex over there. I wonder. So as we went through your YouTube channel, I seen you walk out of that building. So that's how we're able to pinpoint exactly where you're at. And pretty much contacting the people who own the building and reaching out to them. And we found out exactly who you were and sent them a police report. a incident number showing them why we had interest in trying to find you, because you have criminal charges that are filed against you. And keep in mind, under a building lease or any lease for any apartment, that if you basically violate anything, you have a criminal charge, criminal record. That's why you do background checks on you, because they don't want criminals in the building. So if you violate that lease in any way whatsoever with any form of criminal activity, this is an automatic eviction. As I explained to Jamie already, we already know your landlord. We know him already. I'm going to be basically, I think next week, or we need you to be there, to tell you the truth, honestly. I could have you evicted today. It's not hard to do. We have his information. The process server who had to come to your front door, he actually contacted him because he needed permission to step foot on the property. Now, the police don't need permission. They're just going to walk on their period. That's how that works. But we got that information. So if, Fernando, if I want you out in the street right now, I can send them an email with the documents we just got from the police showing that you clearly violated your lease, and you'll be terminated right on the spot. But we need you to be there, because I need you to be there for when the police get there and the process server gets there. Now, if you decide to leave the apartment, let me let you know about this from the door. If you decide to leave the apartment because of the criminal charges, you're still going to warrant for your arrest. That's not going to go away. It's not going to make it go away. If anyone tells you at the end of the day that if you leave your residency and the police go there to swear at the warrant and you're not there, it doesn't go away. You get a warrant for your arrest. It's going to be your job to contact the police and let them know, hey, look, I got some criminal charges filed against me. I don't want a warrant for my arrest. This is where I'm going to be at. You're going to have to notify them and let them know where you're going to be at. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is when they come back, there's a warrant going to be issued for your arrest. And then this is where things are going to get really, really rough for you. But as for you, Mr. Williams, you're not a preacher at all in any way whatsoever. I don't know what preacher curses people out and uses curse words as they're speaking to people. No, you're not a preacher at all. And you got to stop calling yourself a minister, because you're not a minister at all in any way whatsoever. You're not a person of the church. If you belong to a church, I would love to know what kind of church is it in the day that they support a minister that goes in and curses people out. And also, not only that, stalking our company. So you're charged with stalking the company, harassing the company. We got some messages in there involving terroristic threats, stuff like that. So what kind of minister are you? All right, well, I'm going to go take care of my business. We should have your information by tomorrow, and we're going to find exactly, do you actually belong to a church? Are you a minister of a church? Because I don't know why you would be using that. I hope you don't got any fake IDs on you claiming to be a minister at the end of the day, because this will definitely get you in a lot of trouble. And I would love to see some kind of certificate that you claimed at the end of the day that you went to school and you studied and you became a minister. I'm just curious. Because keep in mind, your emails that say the word minister, the judge is going to ask you in court exactly what minister and what church are you from, because we're going to bring it up in court. We've received several emails, well, I'll say 100 or more, over 100 or more, close to about 1,000 emails from Mr. Derrick Williams, who claims to be a minister. So I'm curious what kind of minister basically sends out emails like this. So that judge is going to ask you, and my lawyer is going to ask you, what minister are you? What church do you come from? What certification do you have? Where do you preach? We're going to ask all that, everything. Where do you serve? We're going to ask all that. So what answers are you going to come up in court? And if you lie, which we know you probably are going to, we're going to make sure we have the evidence to back it up that you did lie. That's why I got the investigator. We paid him to come in and take care of this, to get this done. Because I want to make sure when I go to court, we can basically make it stick. But you're still going to have to come up with some credentials saying that you are this minister, either way in court. I just like to make sure that when I bury somebody in court, I like to get the job done thoroughly. We don't need to get that information. I'm going to get it anyway. So I don't know what kind of preacher you call yourself at the end of the day. I have any preacher that gets in church and starts saying the ASS word, as you're saying there, you're trying to clean it up a little bit, but it's still what it is. That is not a preacher that serves God. That's a preacher that serves the devil. Tell me what minister you are and you curse. We got a whole bunch in here from you. Don't worry, gentlemen. These have already been taken at the FBI right now. FBI has all this already. We just scanned this over. I got to go in and I got to print out the rest of this stuff right here because I need this for court for Mr. Williams. We're done with Jamie. We got so much freaking evidence on Jamie. We're done. They're already done. They got enough on Jamie to start prosecuting him. Mr. Williams is next. We already got you on the letters and everything that you sent over. Next stage is basically this whole minister thing because, again, you are impersonating a priest. So what kind of priest are you that you curse at the end of the day? You carry on like this. Yeah. What kind of priest are you that you curse people out? I don't think you're a priest. I think you're faking the whole thing. But like I said, when we get to court, we'll get all that sorted out. Mr. Williams, I look forward to meeting you. I don't think you're going to look forward to meeting me at the end of the day. I told you, gentlemen, the day that you see my face, your life is over. I mean that. So today we're doing an investigation. We're digging through stuff. Mr. Rogers, guess what? Solid Wake 5, which in a couple of days we'll have your real name and address. Getting you ready for court. Gentlemen, I explained to you, this is not a threat. This is an actual promise. You will see my face in court. We'll all meet each other. It's just not on the terms you want to meet me on. That's what it comes down to. Because when you leave out of that courtroom, either two things are going to happen, or basically one or the other. I'm going to take everything from you. That's definitely going to happen. That's the number one going to happen. And you're going to get jail time. You're not leaving that courtroom. There is no way in the world you're going to leave that courtroom at all. When I get done burying you guys in the jail, you are not leaving the courtroom. The day you get transferred here to Pennsylvania to be prosecuted is going to be the last that you will know of everything in the free world. But you brought this on yourself. Remember, you have no one to blame for yourself. But this whole minister nonsense, and I was looking at this, and my buddy was over, and he was looking at, he's a friend of mine, he's the one who's doing a job for me. He was like, this guy's a minister. I've got other people looking at this stuff. Besides, yeah, there's a lot of people I've been through here, and I've actually uploaded and sent this stuff and forwarded this stuff to different agencies and stuff like that. So he was like, he's a minister. How the freak is he a minister? And he's in here cursing and carrying on like this. I said, let me go do a background check on him. And that's what he's doing now. So the thing about it is, who else have you been telling people that you're a minister besides us? Have you been using this as a way to get money out of people? Have you been using this as a way that people scam somebody? I guess, again, who calls himself a minister? Do you have an ID on you claiming to be a minister? Or are you really a minister at the end of the day? Because if you are the real minister at the end of the day, then I think your church should get an idea of exactly what kind of person you really are. And we're going to send all this information over to them, including your criminal reports now. I don't think they're going to allow you to stay there anymore. Mind you, people, you have to understand, when you claim to be a minister, you are tax-free. Do you know that? Your church is tax-free. There's no taxes on a church. So this is where a lot of people get in trouble, where basically they rip off taxes because what they do is they go in and they do a lot of things that they should be doing through the church in order to get tax-free. So I hope you're not doing something you're not supposed to be doing, because it would be digging through that too. All right, well, I'm not even going to call you minister, because you're definitely not a minister, saying curse words at the end of the day. But this has already been posted, and we'll have your information. We'll already have your information already, but the rest of the information, the whole potential about you being a church, a minister, and all that stuff, no, I think you just call yourself this at the end of the day. I don't think you have any potential is proving that you're an actual minister, but you shouldn't be saying that at all, period. And then cursing along with that. That's unbelievable. Let me see. What do we have here for? Impersonating a minister. You know, it's a prison term for that, right? You can go to jail for that. You can't do that. You have to have documentation. That's a real serious charge. So, you know, one of the things you got to know about it, people, I've taken enough people to court in my timeline, and I've won every single one of them. because I'm very thorough about how I do my business, and I'm very thorough on my information. Do you know how much trouble you can get in trouble for impersonating a minister? Can't do that. It's a very serious charge. We got multiple emails if you contacted my company posing as a minister. There's what's going to happen to you. So, convicted. You can't do this. Impersonating a minister can get you in a ton of trouble. Can't do that. Consequences of impersonating a minister. If convicted, keep in mind, maximum potential includes imprisonment up to 3 years, but no less than 1 year. Depends on how many times you sent this over to us. And we got thousands of emails of you claiming to be a minister. Fines up to $12,000 or both. Government has a strong interest in ensuring that ministers of DC, are in fact ministers. Can't do that. Get yourself in a lot of trouble. What state are you from? Let me see. You're from the state of, let's see, Maryland. Yeah, I got family out that way. I got family over in Maryland. Didn't know that. Not too far from either. Let me see. Let's see. Impersonate a minister in Maryland. Let's see. Charges right here. Oh, man. Dude, you messed up on so many levels. It is not even funny how badly you messed up. You're going to go to jail for a long time. You're never getting out. You're never free. If you even had a chance to get out. First things first, that's almost as worse as sending me over messages saying you're a police officer. You can't do that. It's against the law. You know why it's against the law? Because they've had so many problems of people faking to be priests. And they have ripped off senior citizens. They have ripped off people in the church. They've gone in and basically you have a minister that will walk into a church and put up fake credentials to say, hey, they're actual minister. Get higher. Rip off the church, because my churches get donations like crazy. So they'll rip off the church and then they'll disappear and their credentials will be fake. So if you even make a statement that you are a minister, this can get you in a lot of trouble. Impersonating a minister. This can get you in a ton of trouble. Mr. Williams, we have over 1,000 emails that were sent to us. You claiming to be a minister. I'm going to make sure the judge, because that's why my buddy was looking at this when he came. I was like, wait. He's a minister? And I was like, he claims to be. He was like, what minister is that? Look at the curse. I said, yeah, I see the curse and then carrying on. He said, I doubt he's a minister. I said, you didn't get in trouble for this. You can get a lot of trouble for this. Stupid. Very, very stupid. Oh, well. Again, you guys just listen to Satan all day long. You got some more time coming up. So now we're going to bring this before the judge. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be filing another set of charges against you come Monday morning, basically for you impersonating a minister. So that's going to be involved in your charges also, too, so the judge can see this. We'll print out all the emails with the word minister attached to it, and we'll send it over and scan it over to the police computer so that way everything will be on file. And we'll inform the FBI that you have impersonated a minister, which you have done. That's what you have on your letter. You're a minister. And you claim if that's your last name. One of them, a couple of them we have where he's trying to claim it's his last name, but your last name is Williams. It's not that. Your first name is Derrick. You put that on your letter right here. For you sit there and say, "Oh, you're doxing me." No, buddy. This is your letter that you sent out, carrying on and acting up. We got your original letter here. This is scanned in the police report right now. So the Allentown Police Report has a copy of this and your letter sitting in on their police documents. You got a report on you now. So you got to be in court. You're going to be coming down here to Allentown soon, along with Jamie and the rest of them. But you did something really stupid. You claim to be a minister. This is something you can't do. This can get you in a lot of trouble. And you can't say you did it one time because, like, Your Honor, we have thousands of emails from this guy claiming to be a minister. that he was sending these messages. Even some of them you claiming you were preaching to us. You were quoting things from the Bible. That's not good. That's going to get you in a lot of trouble. Oh, well. Oh, man, I tell you. It's interesting how you guys get yourself in so much trouble. Don't worry, you don't like freedom. I can see right now. Some people don't like freedom. They can't stand it. They don't like the fact that they can go out and do what they want to do and have the freedom to make choices about their life. They don't like that at the end of the day. They'd rather be incarcerated, locked into a 4x8 with somebody at the end of the day. They want everything stripped away from them. I can clearly see you guys don't want freedom at the end of the day. So I'll take it from you. I got no problem with it. She was impersonated a minister. So if you are a minister, let's see some documentation. Because if not, if you say that you have this documentation, my friend will find it before you. So we'll have that information if you are legit, what you are. Now, if you are a legit minister, then you're still in trouble. Because keep in mind is ministers don't carry themselves the way you just carried yourself. So we can actually file a report against you with your church, and your church is going to basically, they're going to deal with you. They're going to remove you out of the church. Can't have you in there carrying on and acting up like that. It's going to put a bad stain on your name. But if you're doing the devil's work and you're trying to act as an angel, this is not going to go well for you. So either way, this is going to go bad. So I hope you're not walking around with any ID claiming to be a minister at the end of the day, because it can get you in a lot of trouble. But that's the reason why they're so strict on this, because they've had problems with people claiming to be fake preachers and basically call themselves things like this so they can basically get free stuff and scam people at the end of the day so people can trust them because they say they're ministers. This is the reason why people have problems trusting priests today, because of people like you. People really have a hard time of trusting people in the church because of people like you. They go in and abuse just about everything you can possibly abuse. Of all things to call yourself, why would you call yourself a minister? And clearly you can see that you're not a minister, because again, look at the curse words that you have here that you're writing in a message. I've had ministers, and I've talked to ministers before. No minister in their right mind is going to be using the devil's words when he speaks. So what priest are you at the end of the day, Mr. Williams? Explain to me, what preacher are you at the end of the day that you use the devil's curse words? Because God doesn't speak this way. Only the devil speaks this way. So what priest are you? What do you serve? Because you sure don't want to serve God at the end of the day with this kind of mess in here. That was issued. Oh, by the way, all this stuff is time stamped. When you send it over, it shows what time you submitted it. 13 days is all stamped. Oh, gee whiz, Louise. Even got an email down here. We got an email. You got an email you're using. You're calling yourself a minister in an email. Look at this right here. Hold on for a minute. Let me bring it down a little here. Right there. Oh my goodness, man. You have really gotten yourself in trouble. You made an email calling yourself a minister. So, what church are you from? I doubt there's a church. I doubt there's any certificates, certifications, or anything whatsoever. So for me, I'm going to go in on Monday morning. I'm going to file another set of charges against you, Mr. Derrick Williams, for impersonating a minister. We have received, our company has received multiple emails from this individual claiming to be a minister, even has an email. He has several emails using the word minister. All right, buddy. We'll get another incident. Oh, by the way, Jamie, so you know this from the door, he's actually in your incident report. So you guys are all logged into one incident report. So anything that he does, you're getting blamed with, and anything he does, you do, he's going to get blamed with. It's all together in one thing, all together. So when the judge is going to break it up bit by bit by bit, they're going to prosecute you, and then they're going to bring him in, and they're going to prosecute him, but you're all going to pretty much get blamed for the same thing. Gee whiz, he impersonated a minister. And you can sit there and say, well, I never did. Yeah, it's right here. It's multiple times. You got it over and over again. It says right here, this is your email that you use. You have the word minister in it, right? And then we also have emails from you where you basically started preaching to us. You were telling us that you're from the church and this, that, and the other, and you're a man of God and all this stuff. We have all that stuff there. So, are you a minister or are you not a minister? All right, that'll give you something to think about. If anything else you have to think about. I'm going to be, let me see, that's pretty much it for me. That's it, I'm done for today. Monday morning, for, like I said, things we have not been talking about. The reason why we have been talking about is because we've been back and forth with your building management. I have been in contact with your building management, by the way, so they do know about what's been going on. And they're going to be curious about why their FBI agents storming their building at the end of the day, because again, they got to come in and get you. But we're going to make sure that the FBI knows, because this is where your previous charges are going to, that you have been impersonating a minister. Because when you're contacting us, you're speaking as if you're a minister. That's what you're coming at us with. Even your email states that you're a minister. When I sell to churches, when I do projection screens, in their emails, it'll say pastor, it'll say deacon, it'll say something in there showing that they're from a church, Pastor John or Pastor so-and-so, it'll say it in there. So when I do business with churches and stuff like that, I will see either the church's name in the email, and then if it's by the person who's basically who we're buying, the preacher we're talking to, his name, and it'll be minister, or sometimes it'll be his name, minister so-and-so, or it'll just be minister. And that's how we know it comes from a church. Yeah, you're basically doing like you're trying to be a minister when you're actually not a minister. So whether you get in court and you lie and say you don't have it, you don't have, they're going to ask for documentation. So they're going to ask for that, so you can know that from the door. But just in case, if you do lie under oath, I'm going to have a little black file on you showing that we couldn't find anything on you. We couldn't find any church, no certifications, nothing else, not a thing. That's why I hired the investigator. So I don't know what you're going to do, buddy. See, this is what happens when you play the devil's game. Devil told you, I don't know if the devil told you at the end of the day. Maybe he told you it'd be a good idea to call yourself a minister and contact us. That's a bad idea. Should have never did that. Can impersonate a minister. This can get you in a lot of trouble. So you know that. Impersonating doctors, impersonating nurses, and all that stuff like that. Stuff can get you in a lot of trouble. Yep. All right, Mr. Derrick Wilson. I swear, I've never seen people get themselves in so much trouble in my entire life. A lot of trouble. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Jamie knows this from the door. Jamie, you ever won a PayPal complaint against me? Never won one, have you? I won every single one of them. You see the documentations that I drop on a PayPal? I'm very thorough about how I do things. So basically, I'm able to back up everything that I say. This is the reason why you have never won one ever against me. Same way I'm like that. It's the same way when I walk into a courtroom. I've never lost a court case ever. So gentlemen, when I tell you this, I'm not threatening you. I'm giving you a promise. You're not going home. You're going to spend the rest of your lives in jail. You are. You're going to be there quite a bit. At the age that you're at right now, 10, 20 years is not good. Not at the age you're at right now. It's not good at all. And we've got enough evidence on you, and I'm really happy we even got this. Again, at the end of the day, very happy we got this. Because again, you know, neighbor could have threw this in the trash. He could have just tore this up and threw this in the trash. It was meant for us to have this. It was meant for the Allentown police to be able to scan this and put this in their system. It was meant for a judge to see this at the end of the day. It was meant to be. You know, for a person who's supposed to be a minister and you think that God has your back, well, we have this right here. God's not supporting you in any way whatsoever. This can get you in a lot of trouble. And I mean a lot of trouble. And you actually signed your name right on the letter. And what makes it even more interesting, Mr. Williams, is that the same thing we have here matches over here. Yep. Well, I will be suing you, by the way, so you know that. So now, since you call yourself a minister at the end of the day, and I think that's disrespectful at the end of the day, I'm not suing you for no more for $250,000. I'll be taking you to civil court, and I'll be suing you for $1 million. Because I can. Oh my goodness. Impersonated a priest. A minister, priest, yeah. Certification needed to become a minister. So it takes 4 years of studies, Bible studies, become a minister. You have to go to God Institution College, right here. All the information is right there. What it takes to have, you have to have a certification for it. You can't just call yourself that. You have to have certification. So, where's your certification at? Because I'm going to tell you something. Either you show us and you produce it on YouTube, or my investigator finds it. He's really, really good. I mean, this guy is really, really good when he wants to find things for us. He's going to track down your information. We have your name, your first name, you have your address, all your information. He'll have all your stuff in no time at all. And we'll find out whether or not you are really a minister or not. So, as you can see, it's a very serious issue. You have to have a certification even to call yourself this. And I can see if you did it like one time and you said you're a minister, all right, that's one time. You can get probation on that, whatever, you know what I mean? They might just let that go altogether. But we have over 1,000 messages from you claiming to be this minister. That's not good. So that means you actually impersonated a minister. You claim to be this. Like I said, when I deal with churches all the time, I always see the word minister pop up all the time. Pastor, minister, one way or another, I see something, it pops up. And either they'll have their name, like Minister John or something like that, or it'll be the name of the church or congregation or whatever. So anytime we get something that says minister next to it, it's from a church 100% all the time. No one really contacts us claiming to be a church and not being a church. That's crazy. You can get yourself in a lot of trouble for that. You actually did that. Now, you probably thought at the end of the day, hey, I was just having some fun, this and the other. Buddy, you can't say that in court. You have a criminal charge against you, basically showing that you were basically sending out messages to my neighbors and you were basically harassing my company. So anything you say that you were joking around is going to get you in more trouble. You already got serious charges coming against you already. So you're basically posing as a minister and using that to harass people. And this can get you in a lot of trouble. I told you, you've contacted my company multiple times claiming to be a minister, harassing my company with terroristic threats and curse words and everything else. And you posed as a minister to do this. And this is going to get you a ton of jail time. Gee whiz, you guys don't ever think anything. Well, of course, you follow Satan. That's why. That's why you never think anything through. Satan just tells you just about everything. You just go run out and do it. Oh, well. Mr. Williams, I will see you in court soon. All right, gotta go.